Welcome back to Shh, They Don't Tell You. I'm Steve Green.
I'm Nikki Limo.
And today we're talking indeed about relationship questions. So very many relationships, so very many questions. And we have perhaps the answers, but we are not experts at that.
Yeah, this is for entertainment purposes only. Please do not come for us. But we have helped quite a few people in our entertainment, answers. Not to brag.
Not to brag. We get a lot of that, but yeah. Okay, our first relationship advice question.
There's so many cats in here.
I know, it's insane in here. Our cats are very happy because right now the big moo girls are gone and our cats like...
Yeah, we had a bachelor party weekend and...
the cats are flourishing now because the house is theirs again.
Wanted me back. Anyway.
Okay.
Go ahead.
29 male, was warned not to marry my girlfriend, 28 female, by her best friend.
Whoa.
What now? Did you get that, Limo?
It's a guy?
A guy
that
warned
was
not to marry my girlfriend by her best friend.
That's really messed up
on my
friend's part.
I've been with my girlfriend for 3 years. Been planning to propose in the next couple of months. Recently, we had a group of her friends over. I decided to share my plans with one of her best friends. For context, her best friend is a gay man who has been in a committed relationship for 8 years. Their relationship seems stable, and while they're not married, they treat it as if they are. He's also very blunt. He tends to speak his mind even when it causes tension, and he's not great at sugarcoating things to avoid awkwardness. Sounds like a gay man to me.
Or a Nikki.
Love it. So when I told him about my plan to propose, he looked a bit uncomfortable. He said, quote, ... good luck, while glancing around as if he wanted to leave. His reaction surprised me. So I asked if he had any tips or if there was something he wanted to get off of his chest about me. He said he actually likes me and enjoys spending time with me, which made the situation more confusing. I asked him directly what was bothering him, thinking I could handle whatever he said. That's when he told me he had concerns, but not about me, about my girlfriend. According to him, she has a pattern of being emotionally distant in relationships. He also said she's dated people more for convenience than genuine affection, and that she only ever seemed truly excited about one guy in the past. Her excitement then was as simple as being eager to text him back or lighting up when he messaged her. He also pointed out that she still talks about her exes a lot, even though she doesn't keep in touch with them. I have noticed this too. She'll bring up old conversations with exes, and talk about them in surprising detail. He also mentioned that she hasn't been single for more than a year since before high school. While he admitted that might be hypocritical since he's been with his boyfriend since high school, he said he now believes she sometimes confuses romantic relationships with emotional support systems.
Whoa, guys.
Whoa.
Hold on.
We got a kitty war here.
Hold on.
Who's going to win?
Hey. Everybody chill.
Mama would win, Frankie. You better be nice.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody calm down.
All right. Wow. Sorry. We had a little kitty war for a second.
Okay.
He's been with his boyfriend since high school, so that might be hypocritical. But he said he believes she sometimes confuses romantic relationships with emotional support systems. That hit home for me because during our first year together, I actually wondered if she was in love with him. I eventually dropped that thought after spending more time around him and realizing how committed he is to his boyfriend. And quite frankly, he is very gay. But the behaviors that raised my suspicions, her emotional dependence on him, only stopped after he established stronger boundaries. I remember a year into our relationship, my girlfriend got upset that he stopped coming over to comfort her after his boyfriend moved in full time. They had an argument, and he apparently admitted that her lack of boundaries was part of the reason he pulled back. Sometimes she would even sleep over at his place, which sometimes struck me as odd.
Yeah.
Those are the kinds of things I thought I should be doing as her partner. What surprised me is that she never has been overly clingy with me. If anything, she's independent and sometimes distant. But with him, she has a strong emotional resilience. What started as me sharing exciting news turned into a conversation that left me feeling uncertain. I love my girlfriend, but her friend made some valid points that are now weighing on me.
Yeah.
His comments echoed some things I had noticed but hadn't fully processed or realized. Now I'm left wondering, why would he bring all this up? Was he trying to protect me? Or was this crossing a line? Do I talk to my girlfriend about this? If I do, she finds out what he said. What does that mean for their friendship or for mine with her? Does she have a right to know her friend shared this with me?
Ooh, those are really tough questions.
Isn't this a good one?
It's a really good one. I do think the friend was being authentic. I don't think he had an ulterior motive.
No. Nothing
I
in it
think
for him.
that, yeah, I think that he was actually genuinely having the guy's back. I think it's a little betrayal, like a little betraying to his best friend, quote.
Yep.
I had a friend like this.
Did you?
Yeah, that was, and you actually know them, but I'll tell you later. But yeah, I had a best guy friend that was gay, and she was very like almost like it's almost like they don't think of, because the gay, like their gay best friend isn't going to have sex with them,
right?
So they almost overstep their boundaries emotionally.
Oh yeah, they just dump
because
on
it's
them
like,
all the time.
well, it's not like we're gonna have sex. Like it's not like they're not threatened by the thought that the gay bestie would think that it would ever be a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
But instead, they're kind of just using them.
Use them, yeah,
for like as an emotional relationship, basically. Yeah.
That makes sense.
So I think that's probably what the guy went through.
Yeah.
And his boyfriend probably had valid concerns about the girl doing that. I mean, because like if someone was using you for like coming over and spending the night with you, and they're like, well, I'm gay, or whatever, so nothing's gonna happen or whatever, I still would get a little irritated that, like
there's just some things that you only do as a couple.
Yeah, find your own partner.
Exactly.
Or like if you guys are both single, okay, like who cares? But like when it starts affecting your relationship or, like each other's relationships, that's when it's definitely crossing a line. She doesn't sound like the type of person that is ready to be committed to him. So it always strikes me as odd though, when like, because he's gonna propose, like usually the couple has probably had conversations about it before.
So that's kind of my thing on this particular one is, regardless of what the friend says, you've had a relationship with this person.
Yeah.
And whatever that relationship is inside of your relationship has been true. Mm-hmm. So they're offering you, I think, advice. And I don't think it's like, well, you're dumb or whatever, and like I'm going to invalidate everything that you're saying. But for whatever reason, you felt it was like a good idea to marry this person. I don't think that it's like, now you should shut all that down, all those feelings down, because you heard one person's opinion.
Yeah, I definitely think they need to communicate to, like, he needs to talk to his girlfriend.
I do too.
But I just don't understand where the green light comes in if you haven't already been kind of having these discussions.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Is it, I just don't think, like, if you're proposing for the wrong reasons, I don't think that's a great thing either. So I guess what I'm trying to say is communication's really important.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to tie yourself to someone in a marriage. So if you haven't had these discussions already, I don't think a proposal is the right thing to do yet.
Totally.
But I also wouldn't write it off if you haven't had these discussions yet, to just say, oh, the friend's right, he makes good points, I'm not going to propose to my girlfriend now.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
This isn't a silver bullet where you just get one piece of information and now it just kills everything.
Right.
Like, it's not fair to do that, like, to the person that you built a relationship with. But it is a very interesting opinion that I wouldn't like completely invalidate.
Yeah.
But I would talk to my person about it.
Yeah, I would be like,
you kind of have to.
Hey, do you want to get married at some point?
Yeah.
And like see what she says and how she reacts. And then if she's like caught off guard, like, why wouldn't I?
I would be like, well, I have some concerns that you're still hung up on your exes.
Yeah.
And I think that that's completely valid if you're looking for a long-term partner like that. So yeah, good luck out there. Truly. All right, check this one out. I saw my husband's disgusting text about a female coworker, and I don't know how to feel about it.
No.
So this is her husband's 27. She is 25 years old. How would you feel about it if your husband said he'd eat it about a coworker?
Ooh.
So last night I had gone through my husband's phone, not out of looking for something to be mad at, but just out of purely being nosy.
Well, what's the difference?
Yeah, right. As I'm looking at his text between him and his friend he works with, they keep bringing up his one coworker. His friend talked about how many guys have slept with her, and my husband responded with, "Wish it was me."
Whoa.
Then his friend had sent a meme, and that he related to her, a meme that he related to her, and my husband had said he'd still smash.
Oh my gosh.
Mind you, we were newly married, and this made me extremely uncomfortable.
Ew.
Not even sad, just angry, because regardless if the conversation was just guy talk, I don't think it's right for my husband to be saying those things about a coworker, not only just her, but another coworker as well, saying he'd still eat it if she smelt funny. It's kind of funny too, because he had a dream a couple nights ago about me going through his phone and accusing him of cheating. Maybe he's psychic. I'm just lost, feeling wrong that I went through his phone, but also him saying those things.
Yeah, well, it's like a woman's intuition thing, or like a hunch that you have, like that something's off.
Yeah.
Because like there really is no interest to go through someone's phone if you don't have that hunch.
She's just bored, Nikki.
Yeah, like I have no interest in going through anybody's phone unless there's like something itching at me.
Yes.
And I mean, every time that it's happened with previous boyfriends, I've been correct. And I do feel like I swear I would never look through someone's phone again, because if you have that urge to do that, then you just don't trust them anyway.
Yeah.
But it does feel validating to know that my hunch isn't wrong.
Yes.
And especially since
when you had that hunch, it's like valid.
Yeah, and especially since my ex was lying to me about it anyway, making me feel crazy for having those hunches.
Right.
Like it was nice to have that validation that I wasn't crazy.
Right.
Yeah, that's really out of line.
Yeah, and like, dude, I know some people are gonna be like, Steve says all kinds of shit on JK News, but exactly.
That's like an entertainer thing.
It's a bit that I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like real shit,
like,
dude.
If I was on a podcast and they were doing a smash or pass thing or whatever, it's like, it's not hiding it from the partner.
You would never do it, right? You would say, hell no, I'm never doing that because I'm married.
I would do it in
married.
secret only.
Yeah.
If it's not hiding it from your partner, if you're doing it public, but if you're doing a secret, like if you wouldn't say it in front of your partner, then it would then it's probably not something that you should say.
Yeah. Cracks me up always. But yeah. So this chick, she's like, I don't know. I think a lot of people have been basically saying like, oh, guess what? Welcome to the real world, girl. He's going to find people attractive. And because Redditors don't have any friends, and they really don't like hang out in social circles. They really don't understand this. But she says, she's like edited her post, and she's like, again, this isn't about him finding her attractive. It is about him saying he'd fuck her 4 times in a text to his friend. That's
crazy. Because then like now I have to worry about you going to work.
Yeah.
Like it's one thing if it's like, oh, there's a celebrity, like, oh, I'd smash or whatever.
Yeah, right.
You're never going to see that celebrity, and like you don't have a shot even if you did see that celebrity.
Exactly right.
But now knowing that you go to work every day wanting to fuck your coworker.
Yeah, dude.
Like you want, like now I know that you
and in earnest, you were saying that to your buddy.
And then like what happens if you guys are at a party and she starts getting like kind of a little tipsy and like starts flirting with you? Like, are you just gonna go with your urge? Like, there you go. I mean, you're kind of just playing with fire there.
100%. And how dumb would you be to ignore this? Like to just go like, oh, that's just stupid guy talk with your buddy.
Yeah, I mean, think that would she's trying to be understanding, and also I think partly like writing this on Reddit, like you're trying to like, you know, play devil's advocate a little bit with you, so to be fair with the person. But like this is out of line. I'm not saying like get divorced, but he should know that this is out of line. He's 27, so he's still a little young. Maybe he's just not used to being married, or like you know, he doesn't really understand that like he doesn't understand
that he's disrespecting his person by doing
he's disrespecting his person.
That's the big one for me.
Yeah,
and every time I hear this kind of stuff, I always think the same thing, which is you're disrespecting your spouse.
And that stuff wears over time.
If it's earnest. Yeah. Otherwise, it's just shit talk or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Yeah.
But would he ever admit it if it's earnest?
No, he's like trying to lean into the joke stuff right now. Yeah. That's the word.
Well, and there are like, I guess I would have to understand their relationship, but like there are moments where like it's a joke and it's for sure a joke, but I don't know. This kind of seems super inappropriate.
Jokes are something that you feel comfortable saying around everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to me, like a private thing like this is not necessarily just, you can just write it off as a joke.
Yeah. Like for example, there was a debate amongst a group of guys that I'm in a girl chat, and there was a group of guys that we all know, and they were trying to settle a debate about what women want. Like, and there were 2 types of guys in their friend group, and all the guys agreed that all women would want this guy,
Okay.
And they wanted to settle the debate with us because one girl that they talked to said she actually prefers the other guy.
Okay.
And so we all like started sharing our opinions.
Yeah.
And we all agreed with the girl that like, yeah, I think women kind of more want the other guy.
What was it about the guy?
Well, so the one guy was like more of a family guy.
Yeah.
It's not like he was like super in shape. I think that's what was throwing the guys off.
Yeah,
is that
this
guys
happens.
think that women like just want like this chiseled fucking.
Oh, you're talking about the meme.
No, this was an
okay.
actual conversation
Okay,
that
got it.
happened a year ago.
Okay, got
but
it.
I saw that meme.
You saw the meme
recently,
right? Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
I 100% there's
We're
something
talking about
going on.
the low fat body percent guy. Who,
Yeah, where he made a before and after picture.
Before and after pic, and a lot of the girls are saying like the before pic, and a lot of the guys are like, "What are you talking about?" Of
and
course,
then guys were like, "Why do girls lie about this?" And
Right.
like the girls were like, "We're not lying."
Right.
And so it's like one of those things that guys do for other guys, but they think they're doing it for women, like how girls. And then they were making analogies like how sometimes girls dress up for other girls.
Yep.
But like it's just it's just one of those things. Anyway, and so like I don't think that was inappropriate because it's not like we were all like, oh, I'd bang that guy.
Yeah. You're giving.
We're just giving
feedback.
like this type of guy.
Yep.
I think is more preferential to the majority of women, and here's why.
Right.
But
So then describe it for us so that we, I'm actually curious. Now. What were the parameters for this cat?
So
There's two guys.
the one guy was a very put together, well groomed guy who works out, but we felt he was a bit metrosexual.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
And then the other guy was like your typical like family guy, sports fan that like just has his football team that he likes and he like decorates his office with it.
My guy.
But he does like he's not like he's super in shape. He's not like super groomed. He's just kind of like, but he's really nice and he's got a good sense of humor and like he's a family guy. And so he's like good with kids. And so these elements like women just find more attractive. I can't like, it's not like this
Nothing you
one
can do
thing
about it.
like it's like it's just this is the type of person I think it's probably subconscious that like this person would protect me and this person would be a good father and this
Right.
person would be good to procreate with, like it's like a subconscious thing, whereas this person they're attractive, sure, I can say they're objectively attractive,
Yeah.
but would a woman pick this one over this one? I think they would go unanimously for them.
Nikki's told me a bunch of times that when we got together, I was so skinny that it was like absurd.
Yeah,
And like she doesn't want to feel my hips.
that's true. You
My
had
hip
like
bones.
you had protruding hip bones that he was skinnier than me. Okay? At 6'4", I'm 5'4", and
Yep.
he was skinnier than me, and that makes me feel a little uncomfortable.
I get it now.
Like you're very bony.
And I've actually felt that. Like it's interesting because like when we got together, like obviously like hot and heavy, obviously all that stuff. But I feel like way more like hot and heavy from you at this point,
For
which
sure.
is hilarious.
Well, yeah, and naturally, like we just got closer together, but I was still attracted to you. It's not like I know. I think you're attractive, but
yeah, but going back, like when you've told me that multiple times, like
I also was happier that you were more of a like sports guy because you seemed more of a hipster the way you dressed.
Oh, I know.
I thought you
That's
were
such a
more
misconception
of
about
like
me.
a hipster dude. You had like wore flannel and you were skinny and like you
horn-rimmed
had the glasses.
Yeah.
So I was actually kind of, happy,
Pleasantly surprised.
where you were like a huge sports fan.
Oh yeah, I'm big time.
I like
sports fan.
nerdy guys, so that's like that was already. You had that going for you with glasses, whether or not you were nerdy.
You didn't want me to dismiss sports and call it sports ball and all that really charming, funny stuff.
Exactly.
I'm so much better than sports. Sports ball. Oh yeah, go team. Go touchdowns. Ugh, those guys.
Yeah.
I could line them all up and just.
Anyway, I don't think that those type of comments are inappropriate. But I think that like talking privately to your friend about how you want to bang your coworker that you see every day in earnest,
it's disrespectful to your partner.
100%.
Deal with it. Also deal with the fact that we're going on a break right now. But when we come back, we'll have even more relationship advice for all of you beautiful humans. So stay tuned.
Hey, we're on a break right now, and I guess we're supposed to promo our show.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about our show.
We're going to talk about a show that you took a break from to talk about how you should listen to our show.
Technically, we're not on break. We're still working.
It's called Shit They Don't Tell You, and it's all the shit that we wish people would have told us that we had to mess up on and figure out ourselves. Now we're telling you about it.
That's it.
And sometimes we answer questions that you send in, and sometimes we judge other people's situations.
So keep listening and check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/sticky. Thank you.
And shout out to Brian Jorgensen.
And we're back.
Hello.
Okay. By the way, if you like the show, nothing helps more than checking us out on Patreon, patreon.com/sticky.
STIKKI.
Get the show a day early. I do Crypto Corner every Tuesday. Also, we do a free roll poker tournament every month with a live stream.
Yeah, and this month it's actually going to be double the cash prizes because we missed our one last month.
We sure did.
So
it can be juicy.
Get on in.
It can be juicy.
It's a good month to join.
So appreciate you guys for that. Okay, check this out. My wife, 22 female, faked a transaction to hide her source of income from me.
Whoa. What?
Yeah. Hey guys, I really need some advice here because my whole reality has been denied. My wife told me she was receiving financial support from her rich parents. This is how she was able to afford rent, buy clothes and food and not work, etc. Her whole lifestyle is expensive. She spends money like there is no tomorrow. Recently, we moved into a flat together, so I assume they're from the UK, mate.
Yeah.
Because he says flat. And due to her being unemployed, she has to pay 6 months up front, around £11,000.
Whoa.
She's from Morocco, and I've never met her parents. I became suspicious, so I asked to see proof that her dad sends her money. The reason I had my doubts is because when we first started dating around 4 months in, I found out she was working as a sex worker.
Oh.
She never told me herself. I went snooping through her phone and found out. I never confronted her about any of this. I know. Anyway, I told myself that she's only doing it out of financial desperation. This is when she told me that her parents stopped sending her money and she was behind on rent. A year later, we moved into this flat together. When I asked for proof, she sent me a screenshot of a transfer from what looked like her dad's name. A couple months later, she gets locked out of her phone. She asked me to log into her online banking from my phone. That's when I saw the real transaction and realized the photo she sent me was fake and edited.
Wow.
The money had actually been sent from herself. So for whatever reason, she didn't want me to see that. When I called her out on this, she completely denied that it was fake. She also refused to show me proof that her dad sends her money. She deflected the focus on the fact that I went through her transactions. Gaslighting. When I said I just wanted peace of mind, her reaction was, I don't care. Think what you want to think. What should I do? Break up? What would you guys do if you were in my shoes? Break up?
Yep.
We just got married and her spouse visa had finally been granted. Cool. Break up.
Yep.
Everything was going so well. Break up.
That's why she's so defensive. She doesn't want to lose that. Yeah.
Now it feels like my whole reality has been crushed and it was all an illusion. It was break up.
Sorry.
Mark, hit the button. We don't use the button often. Hit the button.
Break up.
She used you and you don't want to believe it.
You're used.
You're used.
You're very used, sir.
What do you want? To go through years of gaslighting?
Yeah. She sounds like a gem, by the way.
Right. She's using you.
I would love to hang out with her. Like, good Lord.
She must be really hot. Every time that I see things like that, I'm like, she must give really good head or something. You know, like there's.
You used to say that about my ex. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't want to say that.
I used to say that about you. But one of my exes.
I don't want to say it.
That's fine. I have a lot of exes. So
yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. So many
Enough
exes.
said. So many exes. I was really giving it out there, you know?
Yeah, you were. You were a whore.
Yeah, I was really breaking a lot of backs out there.
Oh my God.
Homie.
Stop.
I like saying that because I'm really not that person.
No, you're not.
But it's really...
I know, you have a really cute body count number.
Shut up. This bitch, dude. I could, if I wanted to, I could tweak it to double digits.
Okay.
I could count some stuff that maybe doesn't count.
Okay, go ahead.
If
go
you want
for
me
it,
to do
big
it, I
boy.
will.
Go for it.
Yeah. I'm pretty big.
Yeah,
I'm big.
Feels cool, huh?
Yeah. All right. This is how we flirt.
Then you see a Reddit post. My husband of 8 years, we've been together for 12 years. 38 female. I just found out he inflated his body count number.
No, he says he could tweak his body count if he wanted. If he wanted to.
What does that mean?
Hey, am I the asshole?
Am I the asshole for thinking that is a little messed up?
Yeah. Okay. Similar vein on this one. Found my 25. This is 25 female. Found my boyfriend 26 male on Hinge. Is this cheating? My cousin found his profile and sent me the pictures. At first, I thought it was an old profile of him, but the photo seemed kind of new. I confronted him straight up. He said he opened the profile while we were dating and were exclusive. For context, we were dating for 2 years, and I would say we have a pretty serious relationship with ups and downs. He said it's not cheating. He's opened it to meet new people and make friends.
What? No.
Yeah, I knew you'd like that. Hinge is not a, quote, hookup app, okay? Actually.
It is. They actually say they want you to delete the app after you found your person. That's like their whole tagline.
He wanted to meet friends. You heard about man loneliness?
Bumble has a friend portion, but Hinge does not. Hinge is solely to find your person, and they want you to delete the app after.
This person wants to know, if they should buy a story. Is this cheating? I think it's already
Sounds like
cheating.
it.
Sounds like they're already.
Sounds like it.
Okay. Are you fishing if you get caught on a boat with a pole in the water with bait on the hook?
Yeah, exactly. But you didn't.
But I didn't catch any
yet.
fish. I didn't catch any fish.
You just wanted to see what they would look like.
I'm just sitting here enjoying the water.
Yeah.
If you get caught, dude, you're fishing. Come on.
Right.
Absolutely wild.
Such a weak story.
And he thinks you're dumb.
Yeah,
bro.
exactly. That's the most disrespectful part.
Thinks you're dumb.
He thinks you're dumb.
He didn't think your cousin would find his profile because obviously you're not looking for a dating profile person. Like
Right.
you're not out there. So he didn't think he'd get caught.
Man, one time I had a dream I told you about this.
Yeah. Tell it again.
I had a dream that my boyfriend was reactivated his, profile on whatever the thing was, OkCupid at the time. And I don't know why, but I was just like, it's real. And then I went online, and OkCupid isn't something you can just search for somebody on.
Right.
So you can't there's no like real names, so you can't search for their name.
Right.
So I searched for his height, which he was a very specific height.
That's cute.
His height, his star sign, and within a 1 mile radius of me. And he was the first one that popped up. And there were 60 pages. There were 60 pages of profiles. He was on the first page.
You know that height was really strong.
Yeah. Not a lot of people in that bracket. But I was surprised there were 60 pages anyway. And then he popped up on the first one. Because imagine if I went through after 15 pages, I'd probably be like, I'm crazy.
Yeah.
But first
right
page,
away.
right away. And when was he last logged in? 5 minutes ago.
Oh my lordy God.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny.
My heart sank.
Yeah. This guy was just a nonstop winner.
Yeah. He had a lot of gems.
Just couldn't stop winning.
A lot of moments with this one. I learned a lot of lessons, so that was good.
That's good.
A lot of what I don't want.
Yes. I also learned what I don't want.
Yeah. So that's
Do I want to come home from a long day and then watch a high school show that was meant for high schoolers like when I'm 25 years old? No.
Yeah.
That found out pretty quick. I was like, going home sounds like a nightmare.
Yep.
Can't wait to go home.
Do I want to beg my boyfriend to go out with me and I'll pay for it? And he says no. And then later I found out he went out dancing with another girl all night. No, I don't.
This is just a friend.
I don't like that. It was just a friend. True. And I'm kind of a jerk for.
I dance with a lot of people at weddings. Are you going to freak out and start tackling girls?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesus, Limo.
The thing is I'm such a closed-minded individual.
Yeah, exactly.
But I learned I don't like that.
Fair.
So yeah, break up.
Yeah, break up hard.
This girl doesn't love you.
No, dump it.
Sucks to find out right after you got married, but better now than never.
Oh man, do it early, dude.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
No one cares.
Yeah, everyone has a second marriage
Just
these
think
days,
of it
right, Limo?
like it's not a real marriage. She was using you for her visa.
Exactly. All right, check this one out. My sister, 29 female, wants to marry a pro athlete she just met who had a public cheating scandal.
Oh, geez.
I'm so curious about what you think. My 25 female sister, 29 female, always had poor taste in men. She seems to value wealth and clout over everything else and dates guys who are big a-holes or have super toxic behavior. For 10 plus years, I've seen the same pattern of her moving too fast, ignoring our family's concerns, and then ending up heartbroken and calling me sobbing in the middle of the night. Now, she's starting to talk to a guy who's a semi-popular pro athlete. He had an entire public scandal about cheating on his ex-fiance multiple times,
Eek.
which he's admitted to. And a quick Google would lead to a ton of accounts on Reddit of him being a serial cheater. She says she's going to marry this guy after meeting him once. And when I told her I found this info online, she got incredibly angry and told me I'm annoying and judgmental. She's completely cut me off in the past over almost identical discussions I can't sit back and pretend I support this relationship, but when I try to be real, she just gets mad. It turns into a fight, and it's not helpful for anyone involved. I'm desperately seeking advice. How can I better approach these conversations to protect my sister from heartbreak and also to protect myself from ending up on another 3 a.m. phone call, resisting the urge to say, I told you so?
Yeah, it's one of those things where she wants to be delusional. Like, she's going to be the one to change him because she, like, wants to believe in this fairy tale ending of her ending up with this, like, superstar athlete, and she's, like, the one that changed him. But it's just not going to happen, and you know that.
Yep.
However, I just don't think if you've put up a fight, you said your piece, you know, and she doesn't want to listen to it, all you can do is be supportive. Like, all right,
exactly.
You know, like, because what if
that's your job?
What if she does get her a fairy tale ending? Then you're kind of an asshole, you know? And so, like, all you can do is be like, let her find out for herself, and don't have the, like, I told you so attitude, but just be like, just treat it as if it's any other boyfriend.
Your job is to give her the information that you have. Yeah. And then she's able to do what she wants to do as an adult.
And then once she chooses, you just support her.
And when it blows up in her face, you got to still support her, and don't do the I told you so stuff because it's real scummy. Yeah.
I think that she needs therapy, and she needs to get through some issues and learn to love herself and
valuing
all that stuff,
clout and wealth while being a super tight trait and it's super sick and dope, and we love that. Probably not going to last a long time.
Not going to find a truly healthy
not a long-term
relationship
thing. Exactly. Especially dating somebody who's a serial cheater. But hey, those guys know that they have like a shield around them of like clout and wealth that they can still attract girls who are like, maybe not me though. Right. Yeah. Or even girls who are like, I don't care if he does it to me.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm down.
That's the thing, is that maybe the sister's just like that. Yeah. I doubt it if she's sobbing in the middle of the night. Yeah. But like, I don't know. Maybe she won't learn it in this lifetime, but there's obviously something missing in her that she needs this void to be filled by feeling special, of getting chosen by someone.
We've had friends in the past who don't stop repeating the same patterns, and all they do is the exact same mistake over and over again. And all you can do is hug them and love them.
Yeah, exactly. You know, everyone's on their own journey.
You're not there to really dunk on them, like, and be like, oh, like, I told you. Imagine if you do that. Like, what kind of friend are you, dude?
When your friend is, or your sister in this case, is actually wanting to change and wanting help with changing her patterns, that's when you step in and like give her some tough love. But right now she doesn't have any desire to change.
She's getting married, dude. She's in love. Yeah.
So that's just gonna be happening. She's just gonna fall on her face a bunch of times.
That's it. And get pied in the face sometimes. Yeah. And get pied in the face publicly, probably. Yeah. But yeah, maybe this is honestly the big one that she needs to shake her loose, like a public humiliation from him just cheating on her, and it's like in TMZ or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, like maybe this is like the universe's way of like going like, do you need a bigger example? Okay, here you go. Yeah. You know,
the only thing I worry about with that is like, if you need something to make you feel special, it kind of activates a more victim complex where you feel special being
you're not
a victim of that. So it could like not break the pattern, but you know, I just think these people have to learn their lessons the hard way, and there's nothing you can do about it as a family member, but be supportive. Yeah. Warn them, tell them your piece, and then be supportive.
I love that. Okay. My bridesmaid-to-be planned a girls' trip without me. Do I invite her to my wedding?
Oh my gosh.
I'm struggling with how to move forward after something that really hurt. They're both like 24 years old.
Oh, okay.
I have a group of 5 close friends who I've always considered my core people. So close that they'd likely be my bridesmaids for my 2026 wedding. I haven't officially asked it, but it's been understood. Recently, one of them, let's call her Anna, planned a weekend trip because her parents let her invite friends to their place. She invited everyone from our group except me.
That's crazy.
One girl even flew in from out of state.
Whoa.
I've been talking for months about wanting to do a weekend trip with all of them. I had no idea this is happening. I only found out when they started posting on our shared private story that I'm still in. Oh. I was literally the only one not there. When I started to distance myself afterward because I honestly just felt hurt and blindsided, Anna reached out and invited me to hang out. When I said I couldn't, she asked if she could call to check in, something she's never done before. On that call, she said she wanted to make sure we were okay, but didn't bring up the trip until I did. She claimed it wasn't an intentional exclusion, that the trip came together last minute, and that her parents were the ones who invited her friends.
But the girl flew in.
Correct. Yeah. She also threw in that I'm often, quote, busy, and that they already had, quote, a lot of people going.
No.
As if that somehow justified leaving me out.
Absolutely not. The friend feels guilty now.
I told her honestly that it felt like they just didn't want me there. That's how it comes across when everyone in your friend group goes and doesn't even tell you. She kept trying to defend it and said they, quote, never intentionally would hurt me. When I asked her how to imagine being in my shoes, her response was literally, I hope you can understand my position. I ended the call politely and thanked her for reaching out, but I just felt like excuses.
Those aren't your friends.
Good for this person, by the way. This is like really mature thinking by her.
You mean the OP?
By OP, yeah.
Yeah.
Later, she followed up with a text that said something like, thanks for chatting. I value your friendship. I'm glad we could talk through it.
No,
we didn't talk through it.
You didn't talk through it.
I didn't respond directly. Just gave it a thumbs up. To me, it felt more like damage control than accountability.
Yep.
This is really mature.
100%.
24-year-old woman.
Yep.
Very mature.
100%.
Very, very mature.
Also, can I say how hard I relate to this person?
Yeah, I know you do. That's why I picked it. Especially since she knows exclusion is a sensitive subject for me from a past incident. It feels like she reached out just enough to say she tried, in case anyone asked. CYA.
Nope.
But I'm still sitting with the fact that none of them thought to speak up for me. None of them.
That's what's the most hurtful.
And like nobody's there going like, where's Katarina?
Yeah, that's the most hurtful.
Exactly. What really stings is not just Anna organizing it. It's that none of the others thought to include me either. These are supposed to be my future bridesmaids. Trying to figure out how to move forward. Do I talk to the rest of them, let it go, reevaluate the entire friendship? Right now, I'm leaning towards cutting it off, but I'd love any advice or perspective. I think you're the perfect person for this.
Yeah, it's super hurtful. And then on top of that, it hurts to be the one that has to go to them and be like, hey, we should talk. You're the
mature one?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because it's like, man, like I really feel like all of you should do that. Yeah. But like, I'm the type of person that needs closure. So I would probably tell them what was so upsetting. At 24, I probably gave a million second chances though. Yeah. But truthfully, knowing what I know now, if I was in that person's shoes again, I would just I was going to end the friendships.
Yep.
But I would want closure just in case there's something I missed.
Amen.
And
none of them are worth it if they're not willing to speak up for you.
Right. Exactly.
I agree.
It's super hurtful too that they're like in a tight group and like just left one person
It's
out.
insane. And so the organizer is like the biggest, I think for a lot of people would be the biggest loser in this. But to me, all of them are just as guilty.
Yeah.
Because nobody was like, hey, why isn't she
Exactly.
here? And nobody's reaching out to her being like, hey, I'm here. Why aren't you here?
It would be super fucking weird to me if I got invited on a trip and everybody but one person on our group wasn't invited.
Yep.
That would seem super fucking weird to me.
Yeah.
And so it's like, and then as the person being left out, it's like, are they all talking about me?
Oh, yeah.
Like did they all decide? Exactly. So I'd rather not live with wondering if my friends are my real friends and just cut them off now.
Yep. They made it easy on you too.
Exactly. What will probably happen is she goes to each one and they go, oh, it was Anna's thing. I don't know. I wasn't in charge. And then it's just over. Like, and that really sucks to lose your whole friend group, especially at this particular age. Let me tell you, this like after college era, but like before your 30s, this like middle 20s era, girls have their groups established from like high school. And it's not until people start getting married and having kids that they're open to new friendships.
Good point.
So this is like the loneliest, this was for me, the loneliest age, because it was really hard to get into a girl group because they were already formed.
You didn't really have a lot of girl groups.
No, I didn't. I had no friends, and that was my shtick. Like I was like, I have no friends. I only have cats. Whatever. But it was the truth. Like it really weighed on me to not have like a girl group of friends. And like whenever I thought I found a girl group, I felt like they like left me out, or like I said like one thing wrong. I did a social faux pas because I'm not used to having a girl group, and then like no one just like tells me I did something wrong. I don't get the chance to like fix it or whatever. Anyway, that is a super hard thing to have had a girl group and lose it, because I don't know what that's like. Like, I mean, I don't know what that's like in my mid 20s. I just didn't have one. Like I had a semi one in high school, but I moved away. Yeah. So that was different because I could understand why I wasn't being invited to things in my hometown.
It was self-explanatory.
Like, yeah, exactly. I wasn't as hurt by it.
Yep.
But yeah, that's a tough one. especially since she's getting married next year.
Yeah.
To like now not all the people you pictured being in your wedding.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love your perspective on this. I think that's very helpful for people. I think that it's really tough anytime that you're in a friend situation. You're sort of like, you should be thankful when they kind of show their true colors.
Yeah.
Because then you can just step away and you're like, oh man, I didn't have to waste my time with these people.
Well, also, I will say, like, looking back, I mean, I've done a lot of like therapy and work and stuff, but I think it is ultimately better that I spent so much time being comfortable on my own, like without a friend group, because I do like enjoy my company and my hobbies and stuff like that. And when I meet people I really like, they only like enhance my life instead of like, take away. There are friends I've had that always need someone around.
Yes.
Like they freak out when they don't have like a friend around, and they're very codependent, like, or, just dependent on having friends. And I'm just, I was never had that codependency on a friend group. So like, I don't have that.
How was it? Because you and the Big Moo girls just hung out for the first time in a minute. How was that? Like just picking up where you left off? Was it like that?
Yeah, it was. It was like things, no time had passed, even though we haven't seen each other in almost 3 years. Mm-hmm. So that was like, it was really great to see them again. But I do think that, at this point in our lives, like in our mid to late 30s, everyone kind of has their own independent lives established. So it's not as, we need to do everything as a group.
Yes.
Like in this age when it's like early 20s, those girls, like girl groups, they feel like they need to do everything in a group, and your friends are like everything.
Feels like that's all there is.
Yeah. So you get kicked out of the group, you're kicked out of the family.
Right.
That could be like grieving a loved one, like a loss of a loved one.
That's why this person's so mature, because they're already saying like, I don't think that they have my back, and I don't think they're good friends. And normally people would just have to keep getting punched in the nose before they realize that.
I 100%.
And they would make bullshit excuses because they don't want to be like officially out of the family.
Yeah, I want to be part of the group.
They don't want to admit that maybe they're out.
So biologically, we're a tribal species.
Yes.
Like we have survived from being part of the group. Mm-hmm. So the last thing you want to do is get kicked out of the group survival wise. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I had to get kicked in the nose quite a few times before like learning my lessons. I just wanted to be accepted. I just really, really wanted to be accepted by the group, and I didn't get what was wrong. I felt like, what was wrong with me?
Yes.
What do I have to fix about me for people to accept me? And then the whole time it was just like, I just have to accept myself, and if like people don't like that, then it's not my group. It's just not my group. Right. And I don't have to like transform. I can try to be a better person and improve on that and try to be the best I can be and show up for people, but I can't change who I am to appease a group.
Yes.
Otherwise they just have like control over you, and there's just going to be always like this weird dynamic where you have to make sure you're doing everything right to not get kicked out of the group, and that's just not who you are authentically.
No way to live.
Yeah. So I'm much happier like being the most authentic version of myself that I can be, and just finding acceptance through that than the other way around. But yeah, it does hurt. That hurts to it hurts to be iced out. Yeah.
Well, that's why I picked that one. I thought it was a good one to end on.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're getting iced out of a group, just know that it's not a group for you. It's just like a relationship.
Yep.
It's like if that person is like not liking you and not inviting you to places and not treating you like they love you, then that's just not the person for you. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, indeed. Hey, way to end it, Limo. That was a great way to finish it off. So that's all the time we have for today. We hope you guys are all well out there, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye. Love you. Bye.